Hello everyone and welcome back to today's video. So today we are making a watermill here on one of the I think it's the 50 by 40 lot in Hendon on Bagley, and I thought it'd be quite cool to make a watermill because there's so many ones about in the world. And going into the live edit option, there are two watermills that you can have a play around with, and I've gone for the one that's got moss and stuff all over it because of the running water and everything. So we are building up our terrain so we can have the water flow over the watermill and into the pond below. But what I didn't realize is that you can't have two separate ponds on the lot. They have to be the same depth. So we actually had to go in and make a swimming pool to go on the top and have it all covered in plants and everything, so it actually looked as though it was the same body of water. Obviously the bottom bit is a little bit more natural, and then the top we try our best to make it natural and trying to make it so it doesn't look so lumpy at the top, because it was not amazing landscaping. So I was just making sure that we had enough area to build on and building up our house. I really wanted to have the house actually have some of the foundations exposed where the mill was, and we could see the proper stonework and everything. I thought that would be a cool feature, and having the old support on the other side as well with the broken mossy ruiny bit, and I thought that would be quite nice as well, just to have an extra support. But they're not really maintaining the watermill itself, and then I realised the watermill was quite small, so scaled it up. I think it's a little bit big, but it kind of works with the scale of everything, the house and how big it would probably be in real life, because some of the little watermills that you see about in the world always look really small, and I was just like, no one can build this small in The Sims, no one, because none of the objects fit. So we have a nice big watermill. I thought having a thatched roof as well would look super cool, and I just wanted to make it look very quaint and old-fashioned outside, and then inside I actually thought it'd be quite nice to do a modern interior and make it a little bit more as though they have renovated, redone it, got the home decorator out and made it a nice family space. And it's being situated on a hill as well. I think we get the drama, and I wanted a really nice pathway leading up to the house as well. So I've picked out a few debug objects that I think would be quite cool to make flower beds, and having these little planters as well opposite our stairs, even though the terrain it messes up everything because all these objects hate being placed on terrain, so we have to do a lot of work to disguise it. And I love these rock planter things. I think they're so cool, and I really want to use them in other builds as well, because they just add a little bit of height, a little bit of depth as well to the build, and just make it even more realistic than it would be. It took me so long to find some windows that I wanted for this build. I was just like, I want old-ish style ones, but there weren't any ones that were big enough, and I was just flicking through them all. I actually went for these bay windows with the brown shutters that probably wouldn't realistically work in real life, so I went for those at the top. And then we've got these grey stone we're gonna have grey stone windows at the bottom that are a little bit smaller than the ones on the top, but I think they work quite nicely. And then on our little diagonally sticking out bit, we're going to have some nice long windows so that you can actually have a nice view out of the master bedroom. And there's a few little tiny windows as well where we've got roofs and the actual water wheel, because it looked as though there was something missing there. And it's just we definitely need to add in some windows. And on our back little porch area. We've got some nice long windows at the back, and we're actually going to make a little trellis with the little new like bit of wood that we got in this pack. And I thought it'd be quite nice to actually add some details under the roofing there of our little entranceway, just to make it have some extra little bits and pieces. Obviously wisteria, my favourite object. I actually found an amazing debug object for wisteria. It's like a corner piece, and I use it for our little trellis outdoor area, and it just adds some necessary realism. This is where we make our trellis, so we're going to place all the little individual bits and pieces along, and actually had to make a room underneath because the tiles, the grid tiles, didn't go out far enough to on all the area that I actually wanted. So I was just like, let's create a room, let's mess up my entire layout because that's how it goes. So we're putting every little piece on here on the thicker lines, the dotted lines, and so we have a nice little balustrade instead of using the fences and all the bits and pieces. So it adds plants in here later to make it all nice, and some ones like hanging plants as well, and some ones that drape over the front, and then our wisteria as well. So it looks very nice. It kind of fits with the brown that we've got in the windows and everything, and just adds a nice outdoor space to the back of this garden, because the back is a little bit hilly, and then we've got the extra bit of water as well, which obviously we have to make. And it's a swimming, well, we can swim in ponds and stuff now, but it is a swimming pool, so your Sims could swim in it if they really wanted to. It's a little bit like overgrown with plants and everything, but I still put in a ladder so you can, so your Sims can get in and out. And as you had a quick glance, I did some of the plants and stuff on the outside. We're actually going to go in and do a little bit more afterwards, because I just wanted to get the basics down, how we're going to do it. So on the interior, we're going for a more modern take. So when we come in, we go have our entranceway, and then we go into a very oddly shaped living space. So we've got like the TV area in our big bay window-ish thing, and I thought it was quite nice to have the L-shaped sofa there, just defining that space. And then around the corner we have a little office space and one of the shelves, and then an area for the kids as well, because they have done a bedroom upstairs for some twins, and then we have a guest bedroom as well, which they can expand into when they get older and need their own space. So I thought interior wise we'd have the main walls on the inside and being the nice stone, as though they're like the foundation walls holding up the building, and then we've got some nice muted colours on the rest of the walls to have our little modern element to it. So we have a good balance between the old and the new, obviously putting in lots of plants. I quite like having the more modern interior in the cottages, just because it makes it look modern, which is such a bad sentence, but it's nicer than looking at the awful wallpapers we got. Just because they are not my style at all. And I thought it'd be quite nice because we have a little gap between the stairs and the wall on the left hand side. It'd be nice to squeeze in a little bathroom downstairs, because there's 3 bathrooms in this house, and we've got one downstairs, we've got the one attached to the master bedroom, and then we've got a family one as well. So there's plenty of places for the Sims to go in. It does make our dining room a little bit smaller, but I don't think we needed a dining room that big, so I was just struggling to find things to go in it anyway, and the only thing extra that you could put in would be a bar, and this house really doesn't need a bar, So actually using one of the fabricated tables from Eco Lifestyle, because I thought that would be quite nice. It's got little corner bits on it, and mixing it with the Dream Home Decorator chairs, and just trying to find a few bits and pieces, because we've got the hidden objects on as well. So we've got some different paintings and stuff. I did like this like really nice red one. It goes with the like sort of peachy colour that we've got on the wall, and then just trying to find some bits and pieces that we could go in. Obviously having a little feature light as well over the dining table. I wish those lights were a little bit bigger, because they always seem a little bit small for the space. Like it'd be nice if they all hung at different heights, so there was a little bit more interest instead of them all being the same height or they came separately at different heights. That would be epic, because then you could actually mix and match with different stuff, but that would obviously mean separating them and stuff. So I've just got a nice big side cabinet and the side table with a red bowl in it. Just trying to find little bits and pieces, because it's like, what do you put in a dining room really, apart from a table and some paintings and stuff? But it's a nice little formal room that you could use if you're having a special occasion. And I think we just put a rug in here to finish it off, because that's not too much. And then we have this really big space for our kitchen. I thought having a nice big white modern kitchen, and we've got the nice pastel blue walls as well. So we're going to go for an island, use the built-in stovetop and the cooker as well, having the stovetop on the island, having the cooker on the back as well, and then having our different bits and pieces on the wall as well. I think it fit the space nicely. It frames the window nicely as well. We have space for a dishwasher and a sink as well, and just makes it a nice modern country kitchen. That would be a nightmare to clean. I actually thought going in and trying to find all the pots and the cooking pot and stuff and using them in the more modern swatches that they come in, which were really nice. I love the trio of pots in that nice blue colour. Just fits in with this more modern version of the kitchen. I thought it was a shame that they didn't have those swatches before the country ones, just to like remind you that there is modern swatches to those, because most people would probably forget that there's modern swatches to those, and then having the lights above the counter just to make it extra bright. And then we needed something here, so I was like, we definitely need a bookcase, because we've already used the shelf that I would put there, so definitely putting in a bookcase. And then I was trying to find I was going to put a bar in here because we had the space, and I was like, nah, let's just put in a breakfast table, just a nice small one. It fits in the space. Used the fabricated chairs, but this time a Dream Home Decorator table, and then just added in a few bits of decoration and bits and pieces that we could use. Some plants as well. So obviously we've got to add in all the plants, all of them. I didn't actually go too overboard with the clutter in this house. I think I managed to control the clutter, and then we've got the hanging wall shelf as well, scaled down because it was a little bit big for that space, and then putting the side table underneath I think worked quite nicely, and they actually matched the same colour as well, so that space worked out very well. The curtains look a bit odd because the windows are so high up and they go like all the way to the floor, but I think that is a lot better than having them stop like halfway down. And then the master bedroom, I went for this nice dark colour combination. We've got the dark paranormal wallpaper with the grey, and then they've got this nice like bay window seat, which I thought would be nice for like the shades to go, so you can like lounge in the window. And then we just got a small area for having dressers and mixing up the Dream Home Decorator stuff, because that is really nice for some small bits and pieces to put in the bedroom instead of the huge chunky things that we get to have in the space. And having the windows with the curtains over them actually had a nice space to put a mirror in and try to find some dark pictures to go on the wall. And then it's just adding in those bits and pieces that make the room alive. I'm disappointed that we don't have more slots in those little things. I wanted to fill them with the wicker baskets, so it actually looked like there was stuff all filled up in there, which we should definitely have had. I should have moved objects them on, but I was too annoyed. Too much move objects. Then this is the twin bedroom, so the two kids that occupy space, and I thought it'd be quite nice to separate them with a little coffee table that was the same height as the windows, so they've got their own joint side table. And then put all the toys in here. We've got the little play den as well, because I thought they'd be on the younger end of the child spectrum, so that's why they've got the fabricated beds that actually have like the sides on them and stuff. They have just aged up from toddlers, so it's still a little bit of toddler stuff mixed with the kids stuff. And I think it's a fun room, and you could definitely renovate this room into a more teen bedroom when they age up, and convert the guest bedroom into another room as well if they didn't want to share anymore. So I was just making this room really simple. Everything is white. We've got the light yellow colour on the walls, and it's just a nice simple guest bedroom. I wish we could actually have proper guests in The Sims stay over and stuff, because they always tell you that it's like inappropriate and stuff, but who knows, we'll have to see what pack we get, because it'd be cool to have like hotels or B&Bs and stuff like that in the game, so we could run our own hotel and stuff, but I don't know how logistically that would work. So we just got the bare minimum in here. We've got some wardrobes, we've got a bookcase, we've got two bookcases, and it's all nice and white. And then outside, I thought it would be quite nice to have, we use this same terrain paint for the path leading up to the property, so we're going to have the crack things, because I do love this one because it comes in like 3 different styles, so it looks as though the grass is growing in between the tiles and sort of looks more aged, so you can get a little bit of variety and nuance into the terrain. And then building up the plants and stuff around the side of the house, especially where we've got the pond and watermill, because that is an area the Sims can't really get to, so filling it with flowers and everything makes it look very nice and grown into. And I wanted to smooth the hill out a little bit around this side, so there was a bit more usable space in the back garden. And then we've got some planters, and we're going to put a little table outside with an umbrella and a seat as well, because we need some nice outdoor seating area. And still pick one with the umbrella, because we've still got the slats in the thing, so it won't be weatherproof. We've got our little fairy lights up as well, because at least you could use it at night. And then I went into the debug menu and to see if we could actually have anything that we could use. So we've got like a little broken pier down there. There's a few good objects like the hanging plants, which I don't know why they can't just make them accessible to us normally, because they would be pretty epic. I know we have like one from paranormal stuff and a couple in the knitting. It's just like, give us more hanging plants. Everyone loves a good hanging plant. And then I found this nice willow tree that looked a little bit more realistic, so I was just like, yes, let's use that. And some bits of grass patches as well to make it look a little bit more overgrown. This is where I found the wisteria. I actually put that little truck, that little cart there on the side of the hill, as though it like they struggled to get it up the hill with everything in, and it toppled over and broke, and it's just growing out down the hill now. I thought that was quite cool. And then here's our little corner wisteria that just finishes off our little back garden area, and obviously changing the colour of the side of the pool as well, because who would think it was bright white in the middle of the country? Then when we got back to the front of the house, I was just like, this pond area is way too small, way too small. So I made it a lot bigger, and we're going to cover it in plants and everything, and adding in all the different things. I think we're going to add some ducks as well, and then we've got some splashing fountains underneath to represent the water flow and everything. But I think it looks really cool, especially with the hill that leads up to the house. It just frames the pond and the watermill very nicely, and adding in like lots of greens. I would like one colour palette as well, with the lavender, the blues and stuff. It just makes hopefully ties everything in together and makes it a very uniform build. And adding in some rocks as well into our pond, just to make it look a little bit more a little bit more natural, and as though it's been there for quite a while. At the front I wanted to have some like proper plants in our planters, so we're going in and actually putting some of the more nicer plants in here, like roses and all that type of thing. And we have to scale, like use our 9 key to make them into the actual plant. But I think having the planters just adds something a little bit extra. And we have some open gates to the front of the house, which I thought would be quite fun. And we're going to put in some of the cats and dogs broken, or as they base game, broken fences for our little border around the house, because I think it needed just a little fence just to frame where the actual house was. We've got this like rusty light, we've got a little mini outside, we're going to put some stepping stones on the dirt as well, just to make it look as though there's actual, like there was a path there, but because people have walked in and out so much, then it's been worn away. But I think it adds a little bit more detail. We've got some like of the gardening equipment, we've got some of the things to grow over the fence, and a little bit of grass under our rusted lamppost, some boxes, just to add that little bit of detail. And then I was just trying to find a few bits and pieces that we could put out there, especially from some of the other packs, because they have some nice things, especially in Get Together. That always has some good bits and pieces. I thought there was a broken boat in one of the packs, and I just couldn't find it anywhere because I wanted to put it in. I can't remember where it was, but I think that is all we do for the thing. I think we're just going to fix the terrain under the car, because if you're driving on grass you create some form of mud underneath it. But I think we are going to jump into our screenshots soon, so we can have a look at the build and have it in a little bit more of detail. So here it's the front of our house, very majestic, and we can obviously see the layout as well of the interior. I just put a few bits and pieces in the hallway and filled in the bathrooms upstairs as well, so we can actually use them. And this house is on the gallery as well, so you can download it if you just look for Hevdonia. And then we have our living space, and looking down into the doors to the kitchen. We've got a playhouse, our big modern kitchen, which is very nice, very clean, and into our dining area. I thought that was a good shot through the archway. There's our hallway with a little just seat at the top and a bookcase. Nothing special. And then our master bedroom, looking very fancy, dark and mysterious. And then our kids' bedroom, and our bathroom upstairs as well. So we're just using the Dream Home Decorator bath and one of the base game showers in our guest bedroom, then our outdoor space. So I hope you enjoyed this build. If you did, feel free to give it a like, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.